Man, it feels good. It's late, but hey, it's late. But hey, y'all know, I had to get up this morning. I didn't want to get up. Hey, Cleve, can you turn this light on right here? I need this light on. Let's send out the black signal. Also, I got the lines open if anybody want to call in. I know a lot of people are at work, so I'm not really expecting a whole lot. But we still need to go on and salute and toast these ancestors. And today I am going to try to drink 50 ounces in less than a minute. That's what I'm going to do. I've been working on it. It ain't been happening. It hasn't been working. So, I'm going to do the best that I can today. So we're going to do the start off of the song. But then, my messages, there you go. Empty data response. What the fuck does that mean? Alright, so I'm trying to send out the black signal. And I'm getting your campaign. Okay, cool. My campaign was successfully created. Okay. So now we're going to replace this with something else. I need to see the messages. Alright, cool. So let's go and put up the chat and then we're going to get started. First off, family, you know what? I want to welcome you to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know, this is the Congregation of Mali, and of course, this is the Daily Toast. It's a Heart of a Simple production where we strive to do what? Blow up your old paradigm. Grab your glass. Grab some water. Water heavy as hell. I got pools on.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Grab your glass for that water. Get your bottle of that water. Crack the cap on that water. Lift and pour your water. Drink. Or should we say, lift, pour, then drink. Now check it out. Now move your body and drink some water. Come on, stretch. Move your body and drink some water. Pull those muscles, family. Move your body and drink some water. Just move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, and drink. Where's my necklace at? Hey, bring my necklace out the bathroom. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass. Drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then. Now take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour some water. water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Take your breath. Live and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Time to drink. Shout out, brother Kwame. Might be able to do it today, family. I gotta count the pour time in there, huh? Drink, 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 drink. Oh man, that felt good. Not quite. I was trying to get through it. But, yo, it is what it is. So, Kwame, unfortunately, told me last night that we didn't have school, so I just slept in, man. When I get an opportunity to sleep in, that's what I'm going to do. But, yo, I do have the lines open. Of course, I would like to do the toast before we get into any deep conversation. So first I got to knock the water out. I don't know what's going on in the news. I didn't check the news this morning. Anybody got any news they want to share, go and post it up on the timeline. Because I'm seeing messages come in. Oh, man. So, I'm going to try to finish this water and we're going to get straight into the toast. Is that cool? All right. Man, that little jump in water was major, man. So let's go on. Oh, I love that. I love that. Let's go on and get us some libations. And now, first giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that Creator. And we say, Ashe. Oh, man, Ashe. All right, from there, family, we move on to the stars of the show. We move on to our list, a couple of lists of ancestors. We've been stacking up names for the last 2 years to salute our ancestors, and it's growing slowly but surely. So here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert Texana Davis, Ern Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, George and William Walter, Christopher Pendergast, and Eileen, Uncle Chris, I'm Fee, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twigg, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Toppin, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, No More X, Sapet Mile Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Pro Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulliam, the Luxor Brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend J. Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sir Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Mel Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Be the Farmer, I Go So Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury, Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Flores M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Edgar Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keach Larice, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolton, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Eumania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, John W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs, Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Bina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillamon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Perez, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John or Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Inez Bostic, Anna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Hadley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbert Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Jana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Voight Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Malin Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Ebel Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Arlington Houston, Led Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Statton, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Saunders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Sheikh Mahan Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cooper, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon, great. Kujichagulia to you as well, Brother Kwame. All right, family, we lift up our, oh, my fault. Ooh, I almost did something. All right, we also lift up our glass to Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, and Anthony Brown. Lift up our glass, and we say Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? From there, we go to the present moment. Right now, we are on Kujichagulia, my favorite day of the week. This is me and Gina's day. Me, Gina, Navita, Tiandra. Here we go. So we raise up our glass for today. And today we are on Kujichagulia. For those that don't speak the language, that's self-determination. Is justice. The Maya principle is justice. Indigo. Let's see. All right. Justice is the Maya principle. Indigo is the color. Well, I got on black. Actually, I got on black because I. Then we got correspondence is the Hermetic law. The male name is Kwabena. Female name is Abina. Abina. Am I saying it right, Gina? I mean, Vicky? Abina. So we got Kwabena and we got Abina, all right? And that's Gina. That's me and Gina. This is the best day of the week. And I got it all. Oh, man. All right. So we lift up our glass. And we salute this moment. In this moment is our power, family. And we lift up our glass and we make the pledge to those whose shoulders we're standing on, that we will carry forth the effort. And we pledge to those that's yet to come, that we will make sure that they have a firm foundation to stand upon. Right? My shoulders are broad. Stand on me. Right? So we lift up our glass. And we salute the present moment. And from there we move to our children, our children's children, on to infinity, because we pledge to make sure that they have what they need. And we toast them in advance so that they will one day toast us. We lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. I sure wish I would have a conversation somewhere else. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. All right. We lift up our glass to our future generations. On to infinity, and we say Ashe. From their family, we salute all of our relations. We toast and we say Ashe. From there, you know what we do? We do what we do. And you know what we do? Cleveland. Here, check this out. Go dump this out. If you could put some more coffee in there, pour me some water. The blue thing in there is for the water. I had to break this conversation up because they was disturbing the toast, right? I had to find something to break up the conversation so we continue with the toast, right? So we already saluted our relation. All right, we move to the next toast. That's that selfish toast. This is for you, family. We lift it up. What is it that you need? And we say Ashe. Last but not least, I toast the most beautiful, powerful, most inspiring, strong, smart individual. Smartest individual in the room. You know who that is? That's you. I toast you. We say Ashe. 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 Family, I wish you peace, power, joy in 100 years. But hey, check this out. So tonight, we got at 9 p.m., if all goes well, we'll have the folktale for grown folks. And the folktale tonight is The Thieves and the Cock. No, it's not a porno. I have to keep on reminding y'all that. The Thieves and the Cock. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock, whom they stole, and got off as fast as they could. Upon arriving at home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. "Pray spare me. I am very serviceable to men. I wake them up in the night to do their work. That is the very reason why we must the more kill you," they replied. "For when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business. The safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions." We're going to have a good conversation tonight. But yo, so I got the lines open. I'm going to sit up here and sit for a second. If no one calls in, we up and we out. I'm going to continue with my day. Going to chill on this chilling day. I don't even know what the temperature is outside. Anybody know what the temperature is outside? No. Thank you, Mr. Brown. At least somebody listening to me. All right, family. All right. All right, so once again, let's say this. I'm going to say, I want to thank all those that joined us for the journey. I said, are you sure this is not porn lit? Yeah, I'm sure, man. I just read the story. That wasn't, I guess it was night killings and stuff like that, I guess, right? Yeah, I'm sure. I checked it. Read it several times too. No pornographic material, just strange, just names using the language in the way that it was originally meant to be used. All right. So, but so we will be having that discussion tonight, and I think we'll be able to pull a lot. Excuse me. I think we'll be able to pull a lot about that conversation tonight because of actually one of the brothers. Read it again with porn in mind, and one cannot be sure. All right. Let me see. This is one. This is one of those mental experiments. All right. The Thieves and the Cock. All right, Kwame. All right, man. Hold on. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock.
A cock? What is so funny?
Whom they stole and got off as fast as they.
What's so funny?
Upon arriving at a home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. "Pray spare me. I am very serviceable to men. I wake them up in the night to their work. That is the very reason why we must the more kill you," they replied. "For when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business. The safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions." Well, Kwame, you got you said double entendre, right? Man. All right, somebody on the line. Who that on the line?
Lady J.
Why you ain't at work?
It's a snow day.
Ain't that a wonderful thing? I didn't even expect it.
My kids got school though.
Why your kids got school?
Because a district didn't close.
They're not Columbus Public?
No.
What's on your mind, Lady J? Because you know the story I just read, with Kwame told me to read it with porn in mind, and I actually did.
With what in mind?
With porn in mind, because ASAP be having some strange. I ain't gonna say strange, but he used the language in the way that it originally was. So the name of this one is called The Cock and the Thieves.
Look at my purchase and get the lotion. Two things on my mind this morning. I just got into a 40-minute fight with my son.
Wait, time out. I said The Cock and the Thieves, and you said get the lotion out of your purse. Go ahead.
So, my son, I when he was little, he had this thing. He hated baggy clothes, right? He couldn't stand them. If I go buy him something, they had to be, no, it's in the back pocket. They had to be lotion, baby. Look in there. Put your hand down in there.
So why they ain't in school then if they had school?
No, they got 2-hour delay. Here.
The 2-hour delay. The 2-hour delay is the dumbest. The dumbest.
Well, it works for a smaller district. What it won't work for is a larger district. So for a district like Columbus, which is the largest school district in Ohio, it won't work, especially because Columbus is responsible for busing students from various, for not just their school, but also for the charter schools. And so what happens is once you start delaying and you got middle, high, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And elementary, there's no way possible. What they can do better than than an early start is an early release. So that works out better for their budgeting situation than an early start with. And then especially thinking about the fact that, especially just thinking about what the way those times work in the morning. But a smaller district, a Reynoldsburg, Whitehall, all of the smaller districts are able to do it. So that's why Columbus.
I still think it's stupid. I'm just saying. 2 hours. I mean, are they going to add 2 hours to the end of the day? Are they going to add?
They won't add 2 hours to the end of the day. No.
I'm just saying it's stupid then.
Okay, but what's going to happen is at the end, say we're over our calamity days, our school will go in longer, whereas they'll get out on time because they've met their criteria.
That's why you always have extra days. That's why you add extra days to the school year just in case for the calamity days.
Man, I actually like the late. I'm a fan of it.
I don't like it. But go ahead. You was arguing.
I love my snow days. Hey. Okay, so so Melvin has to dress up for basketball. And so which reminds me, I need you to maybe put some ties to the side because he needs some ties.
He needs ties for the games?
He needs the ties. He don't need the ties today because
what color?
What I told him was
what's the team's color?
Don't be trying to put that shirt in your foot there either.
Wait, what color is there? What color tie he need?
He needs all kinds of different color ties. But yesterday he sat here and he played his game all day instead of washing his white collar shirt, right?
That sounds familiar. Wait, hold on. That sounds familiar. It sounds like somebody else I know. They will sit around and play games. These games is something else, man. They must be learning some incredible stuff, But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So he gets up this morning and he grabs this white shirt, and tells me he's going to wear it. I'm like, you can't re-wear a white shirt. Now, it's a black shirt. You might be able to get away with it, but nobody can re-wear a white shirt. So he gets those a fit. I tell him, and then the only tie he got, he had a real nice tie, but the only tie he has now, because his bow tie broke, he had like a little suede camel bow tie to go with his little shoes, right?
Right.
That one broke, so a friend gave him a black bow tie, but that ain't gonna look right either, right? So I tell him, go get one of your African shirts. Now, granted, you won't have on the tie today, but you'll be dressed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, back in the day, I started all this to say, back in the day, Melvin was very particular. He didn't care what and he used to tell me, he didn't care what anyone else said. When he wanted to wear them tight pants, them skater pants, this before everybody else was doing, I mean, you know what I'm saying, where it was a trend, I used to be embarrassed, like, oh my God, I gotta go buy these straight jeans, you know what I mean? But it was the only pair of pants he would wear, and he used to tell me, I don't care what everybody else wears. So now he gets to high school, I come go grab his African shirt.
Wait, talking about Melvin in high school?
Yeah, Melvin's in high school.
Melvin older than Cleveland? No, he not.
Yes.
Is Melvin older than you, Cleveland?
Yes, he is.
Wow.
How old is Cleveland?
Cleveland is, how old are you, Cleveland?
You know Melvin's older than Cleveland. Melvin was in middle school and Cleveland wasn't.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you remember when all that
is Miley and Cleveland? Is Miley and Cleveland the same age?
No, I'm older than Miley.
He older than Miley. What grade is Miley in?
You know that. Good job, please. Good job.
Good job for what?
What grade is Miley in 7th?
Miley is a 7th.
Okay, all right. Melvin in 9th.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right.
Let's put them shoes on. Let me just see what it looks like with them shoes on. That other shirt would have matched them shoes perfect. So anyway, I had to fight. Okay, you fine. Okay, you look nice, Melvin. You look like a little African king. A little African American king, if that's what you want me to call you. So, Melvin, I just had to fight with Melvin to put this shirt on. And he looks nice. And I told him, I said, when the girls see you come up to church, they're going to be like, it's going to be like coming to America. You feel me? What can I do for you, my black African king? Would you like me to jump on one leg, king? He gonna take this way. Everybody on the basketball team today gonna be like, Mel, you got another one of them shirts I can wear? He just won't trust me. I've been trying to take his swag to 10,000, but he just won't trust me.
Did you stir it?
You want to wear my glasses? The nerd glasses today? Oh, okay.
Do we want to wear your hoop? And then also look in the cabinet, Cleve, and give me the bee stuff. There's some bee stuff up there. Bee pollen.
Long story short, Miller's wearing this shirt, so I was able to plead with them this morning. So I'm happy about that. So I had to have a long, extensive conversation just about how I love I love when he's him. You know what I'm saying? When he doesn't care what everybody else is doing. I love that. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today
ask Melvin why he ain't, because I asked him, I said he was arguing with you about sitting in between them girls' legs or something like that. He said he wasn't arguing with you.
He wasn't arguing with me. He was trying to plead his case.
That's called arguing.
That's an argument, right?
That's an argument. That's arguing.
Yeah, I mean, but he's a young man. So what I feel like when our kids become young men, my daughter, is a little different, but I feel like they should have a say. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to listen to his viewpoint, but I wanted him to see my viewpoint. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I wasn't allowed to have a viewpoint till I got my own place. I'm just letting you know.
No, why? I gotta get them ready. Be thinking on their own.
All right, listen. I was thinking.
I gotta get them ready.
That ain't stopped me from thinking. I just didn't have. I just couldn't have my own viewpoint until I had my own home. Shit.
And I like that. I like to have my kids work on their. I'm gonna give you an example. I like to have them work on delivering their message in a way that is receivable, right? So it's not. That's. I don't mind that part.
I'm just telling you, I was raised multi-generationally. I lived with my mother for a little while, and I finished up. I did my finishing school with Geneva and Cleveland Brown.
Why you growing up like that though?
That's the elders, huh? That's the elders.
He be wearing my coach hat. I'm trying to figure out why he rolled it up like this, but
Let him roll. I mean, you just got to talk about you like him being free. Let him go and be free.
He is. He's gonna be free right in this shirt.
What school he go to? I might want to pop up on him. Cause I already
Whitehall High School.
You might want to be getting fly up there or something. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he looks nice though. He looks very nice.
I mean, no, all my kids is handsome. You know what I'm saying? Melly is a handsome dude, so he cool. I'm just waiting for Cleve to come. I'm waiting for Cleve to get his little confident swag. Cause I'm gonna be knocking him down every now and then.
But okay, that's not what I want. I did want to bring that up, but like I said, I did. He was a little. Are you still upset with me? You look nice. You know, you look nice, don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you post a picture of him up on Gye-Nyame Journey so we can see, so the people that's listening.
Hold on. Let me take a picture.
Hey, Shasha. Catch.
Hold on.
Shasha?
All right, let me go.
Who wrote this? Shasha 2.
I wrote that. That was for your tooth when it broke.
I got the picture. I'll post it.
Cool.
Okay, but that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about are the things that we do that are counterproductive to our movement as a people. What?
None. I mean, you said that one. I'm just laughing because I can think of so much, like me pouring this coffee. So counterproductive.
No, we got to start the cars. Oh, shoot.
So you taking him to school?
Yeah, today. Yeah, he always get a ride to school. His school is over 2 miles away.
So why you don't catch the bus? They don't got a bus?
No, they don't get no bus.
Why? Because
you putting on your big coat too, right?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
So the rules for Whitehall is different?
Yeah, high schoolers don't get no bus.
Oh, man, he need to walk. I'm trying to tell him that make him a great basketball player, man. That running in that car.
No, he don't walk. He don't walk to school.
That running to school, nah, you don't walk on this.
The neighbor, he walks to the next street, and the neighbor takes him. But she had to work today. I mean, she's probably already at work, so I'll take the boys today since I'm off.
Okay, but go ahead. Give me some examples of these counterproductive behaviors that I'm not familiar with.
You're familiar with them. This whole Facebook thing is getting out of hand. This whole posting and stuff. Did you hear the story about the Columbus woman in Atlanta who's raped on her live?
What?
Yeah. So yesterday a video was released, and it was being shopped around in people's inboxes of a woman being raped. This woman is at this. She's having a birthday. She travels to Atlanta. She's from Columbus. She travels to Atlanta for her birthday, right?
Uh-huh.
So she goes on live. You can see her first post. She's having a good time, right? Then there's a time lapse. The first post she goes on, you can see this black man standing behind her. Post comes back up. You can see now she's heavily drunk, as if something was slipped into her cup, right?
So who's holding the camera for the live? Wait. Who's holding the camera for the live?
It appears that she's holding the camera. It appears that it's her phone.
Wait, stop. Lady J, listen. Now,
I already know.
So
she's on the live.
She's on the live. The motherfucker that raped her didn't know that she was on the live.
He didn't care, and neither did no one else at the club.
Wait, she got
being raped in public.
Wait, she got raped in a public space, doing a live on Facebook.
Doing a live on Facebook, people are commenting, but even worse, people who you can hear her calling for help. You can see her crying, begging, and it appears that another man is like holding her shoulder down. You can see that the man has pulled her shirt all the way down, so you can see parts for breast that sometimes in the video you can see that he's basically stripped her down in the club, and he is aggressively humping her.
And she's still holding the camera? She's able to hold the camera?
And so the camera is, she's still holding her phone. And what I think it is that she was on the live. It starts and she's holding her phone. So it's not like it's the best video, but you can see what's going on here.
But now, but the dudes was able to keep their face up out the live?
No, you can see his face. Now, the video that I seen, and I hate to admit that I seen this video. I hate to even admit, but there was a gentleman. Huh?
I haven't seen it, and I'm not interested in seeing some stupid shit like that. So
yeah, so the thing is, somebody comes into my job, Someone comes into my job yesterday, and he actually had access. So that's how I ended up seeing. I didn't watch the entire thing. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see the entire video, but I seen enough to know that that there were people taking pictures as she's being raped. There's people in the back taking pictures. No, you're not taking all that money. You can take that. There's people taking pictures. There seems to be a man like with his hand on her shoulder. She's definitely crying. She's definitely screaming out for help, and no one is helping her. You might want to take a rag with that part.
And it's in a public place.
Don't matter. In a club. And then the video progresses, like I said, and that's when I stopped watching. It seems as though he took her into maybe a broom room or a bathroom or something where he took her off the dance floor. And I don't know what happened at that point, but I do know that what I saw is just, and even before I saw it, I could hear people's reaction on Facebook. I'm reading their reaction, and what they're saying is, you guys are sick for asking people to send you this video. This is not the first time. There's been other videos where people, case in point, there was a video where boys, do you remember the boy at South High School getting oral sex?
No.
Yeah, so there was a boy who was at South High School. There was a substitute teacher working, older substitute teacher. It doesn't matter, though. And these kids are in class. You can hear the teacher calling the roll, right, taking attendance. You can hear this in the background. Meanwhile, there's a group of kids standing around while a girl is up under a coat giving a boy oral sex in class.
Good.
I'm looking for my pants.
Good grief.
And so when this happens, there are many people who go on Facebook and who are saying, send me the video. Now, mind you, you couldn't see any genitals, but you could tell what was happening. The kids are standing around in this circle. They're recording, and that's how the recording makes it to Facebook. How long do you think these kids got put out of school?
Probably about a week.
Exactly. So, probably about a week. So, when this hits the fan, now mind you, this is the boy that's in the video is, she's kind of like my sister cousin. It's her son, right?
That's getting it done to him?
Yeah, the boy sitting in the chair, enjoying the oral sex in class. It's my girlfriend, someone I grew up with. It's her son. Now, mind you, I didn't ever watch the video, so I didn't know this. I just happened to run into her, and we're hanging out, and she's, you know, lamenting about everything that's going on. And she tells me, like, you know, that was my son. So she ends up telling me what the consequence was. So when all this comes out on Facebook, the first time that video, I couldn't understand, because I said the only thing that saved these people, I feel like, was that you really couldn't see anything, right?
Right.
But the truth of it is, if you know that these are children, you know now that you're in possession of
child pornography. Right.
You're in possession of child pornography.
Right. What? Now, hold on. The issue may be because nothing was shown, just the idea. So it might not be able to be categorized as pornography. But
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I have had experience where, like, for example, in what I do, because you already know people be trying to get me videos because of stuff that's happening in school. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. Don't send it to me. Give me a description so I can go and talk to the parent. I don't want none of that. I don't want to see none of that shit. Right? And but go ahead.
So this is the thing. And I don't know if it will be in the best interest. You know that the prosecutors, I don't know if they're required, but they do this thing where they come out to the schools and they actually go in great detail about what's considered child pornography and what happens if you are caught in possession, right?
Right.
I think that it's imperative that every school, whether you're Columbus City, Whitehall, Reynoldsburg, that this prosecutor comes to your school, because I don't think that the kids really understand the magnitude all the time.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah, they don't understand. They don't understand the consequences. They don't even understand. I don't think the parents even know. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. It's scary. Some of the stuff that you will hear some grown ass people say about some of the shit that be going on. It's scary. You be like, you and your child need to go somewhere else, because y'all both dumb. I can't. There's no saving you. But we got somebody else up on the line. We got brother Quasi on the line. Brother Quasi, you just listening in, or you want to join the conversation?
Oh, yeah, you know I like to listen before I do too much speaking. I just heard my best friend on the line, so I wanted to call in. Is that Lady J?
Yeah.
It is.
How you doing, sis?
I'm awesome. Need my charger.
That's good. So I'm just listening for now. I'm trying to gather what y'all talking about.
Right. So Lady J brought up the subject of the wasteful things that we do. How did you put it, Lady J? Because we moved into the child the using YouTube and Facebook to show a lot of debauchery. But she brought up the point about how we're using it to waste time rather than do some nation building. In the high Tim version of what she's saying. So go ahead, Lady J.
Yeah, so the people were requesting this video. So the thing is that I didn't see the video, I tell, but when I'm hearing about the video, I knew it was nothing, and I didn't know that you couldn't see anything at that point, right?
Right.
All I knew was that there was something inappropriate happening in class, and everyone wants to see this video. That's the wrong one. Wait a minute, no. Hold on, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay, that's the correct one. And so that's pretty much all I knew. And from that, I had discerned that it would be grossly inappropriate to be requesting said video. You feel me?
Right.
And so later on, I discovered that, okay, you really couldn't see anything. But prior to that, the idea is that there's someone. Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm that it would be possession of porn, right? Why would you want to see these children? The word, all you need is the word. You feel what I'm saying? People were making excuses like, oh, I want to see if I know this little girl, I want to see this, I want to see this. And my thing was, her parents already know. What you going to do?
Oh,
you see what I'm
God.
saying, Tim? Come, Melvin. So, this incident, they happened yesterday. Again, I wake up to Facebook, and all I hear is, why are y'all requesting this video? Y'all nasty, blah, they skip. I don't inquire anymore. Well, when I get to work, like I said, my former coworker, someone you know, because he used to work at your job as well. He comes up to my job. His name Ruffin.
Shut up. Okay, I ain't asked for the name. I was just want to clarify you mean me. But go ahead.
And so he's at my job. And hold on. He's at my job, and he's telling me about it. And so that's when I find out what this video is people are requesting. But like I said, I seen part of it, and it was enough for me to come to the conclusion that people sat around and videotaped and took pictures of this lady
being raped.
Being raped. Now, and then there were...
Wait, hold on. Wait, Lady J, slow down for a second. Now, Quasi, what she's talking about, I don't know if you know about this, but there's a video that's going around on Facebook of a sister from Columbus going down to Atlanta for her birthday and ends up getting raped in the club. It's on Facebook Live. She was taping the whole thing while it was going down. And
I heard people talking about it.
Right, and I'm sitting up here, and it's like, because I'm trying to understand, how do you know what I'm saying? She still got the camera, but then so it's
kind of like she's holding the phone, Tim. So it's not like the phone that she's on live. So what she did was, how you got to click the button to end your live. Right? Mm-hmm. Basically, she's unable to disengage that live at a certain point. That's how I feel. And so it wasn't that this was videotaped with any, it's not clear per se. She's just holding the phone and the phone is still going. You see what I'm saying? But you can see enough to know, you can see her face. You can see that she's being bent over. You see that. You can see that she's crying. You can see that her clothes have been pulled down. And so some of the people were saying stuff like, there's proponents saying, or people, and then you got two sides. They're saying, A, she basically deserved it.
Oh, my God. She deserved it.
Because of the way she was dressed. That there's no evidence that, how we're jumping to conclusions. They actually said, we're jumping to conclusions. Basically, that person? They going to your school? We're jumping to conclusions, and we don't know for sure she was right. But I've seen the little bit of video that I've seen. You can tell that this woman is not. You see what I'm saying?
Right. She's not right.
The person is a minor?
Huh?
The person is a minor?
No, not a minor.
Is a minor?
She grown.
She's in Atlanta. She's a Columbus woman. She traveled to Atlanta for her birthday.
So y'all were talking about two different things, because you were saying something about a classroom.
Yeah, right. That was two.
Yeah, that incident happened here in Columbus at South High School. He go to your school? Okay, that incident happened here in Columbus, Ohio, where, but it just proves my point about how people shop this video around. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are obsessed or intrigued with deviance. That you would want to see something like this, and that you would reach out to people and say, send me the video. Send me the video. Why? Why would you want to see a woman being raped? What pleasure do we have in that? And not only what pleasure do we have in that, why were people in the background also taking pictures and videotaping this woman being raped? And what did they do with the video other than post it and send it to their friends? What is this culture that we have found ourselves in where we would, that we, you know what I'm saying? It's not even that we're going to use this. The individual that showed me, he said, I was telling him how I felt about people doing it. He said, well, there's a lesson to be learned here. And one of the lessons is, as women, we should never have no man buying our drinks and bringing it to us. Because it's obvious from that time lapse, there's something that
right.
we're
No
assuming
strange man outside your shit. Because, I mean, yeah. I mean, really, any of us. It ain't just women. I'm going to say women need to be a little, but any of us shouldn't have anybody bringing us anything. You know what I'm saying? We in a strange place, and they just bring you some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this is the other piece that I talk about, and I have said, Hatil, when we discuss propaganda, I'm not saying, and we're planning our propaganda campaign. I'm not saying that we can't discuss these matters, but we should have attacked this issue without reposting the video. You see what I'm saying? We should have used the narrative to discuss what happened in this video without shopping this video around. It's the same thing that happens when you have incidents that occur in our community that are heinous, right? We'll post it, right? We'll post the video. We'll add to the the breakdown of our image. We'll keep posting those things, knowing that they're not favorable to us.
Right.
Not even caring that we have enough unfavorable videos and images out here and portrayals of us that we don't need to perpetuate them. You see what I'm saying? But people arguing like, oh, this is how. You don't need to repost that video in order to attack that issue. You don't need to. But this is the things that we do to ourselves that are counterproductive to our progression as a people. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It is, I was going to say it's embarrassing, but it's beyond embarrassing. Embarrassing isn't even the word. I can't even think of the word that I want to use, disgraceful. Like, we're doing this to ourselves. And then we put it out there, and it's just like there was a picture. I think I sent it to you, Tim, some time ago at Halloween. This previous Halloween. They got this chick. Do you remember? They dressed up like Scooby-Doo cartoon characters, and the one black chick in the picture was a dog. She was a dog.
It was a dog?
She was on the leash and everything. She was a dog. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay. I know I still have the picture in my phone. I wouldn't dare post it to Facebook, but like I told you before, I want to know how do we start the conversation, about this stuff. But people kept promoting that picture. And so one guy, he posted the picture, and I asked him to take it down. And he wanted to know why, because he had a nice little narrative with it. I said, well, once you put it out into the universe, once you put it out into the universe, what happens, anybody can take that image and put any caption with it that they want. And I showed him an example of what I meant. I don't think, like I said, our biggest problem, and Dr. Umar Johnson talks about this on various videos, I think is the fact that we don't understand propaganda, that we don't understand how we can use it as a tool to fight back our oppressors, to lift ourselves up. We can use it for a tool, but instead we would use it for our demise.
Our demise. Now, let me say this, because all of us don't need to understand the power of propaganda. And I think
all of us do need to understand.
No, because that would mean that because in the same argument, all of us need to know advanced math, and all of us need to know advanced dancing, and all of us need to know martial arts, and all. No, you need.
All of us need to know the propaganda.
I don't think you understand what I'm trying to say. Well, Go ahead.
We have access to social. When you have a social platform, it comes with responsibility. It's just like driving a vehicle. It's
And
just like
a
driving
lot of
vehicle.
motherfuckers, a lot of people don't respect the responsibility that come with driving that vehicle. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is we need to have people that are strictly focused on the propaganda piece, that master. And you can teach people the basics, but it's like certain people. How can I put it? Certain people need to master the use of this social media piece.
Agree.
That's what I'm talking about, because
I agree that certain people need to master it, but I'm also saying that there needs to be posts like and I would do this years ago. There needs to be posts explaining how images, what happens when an image is liked, what happens when an image is shared, what happens when you comment on the image. And so, for example, if I see something like, say, for example, I seen this video that I'm referring to, and I went on there and I said, oh my God, this is so sad, this is horrible. I just promoted the image. People will be like, well, I didn't share the image, but as soon as you commented on the image, you shared the image.
To the algorithm. Now, and a lot of people don't understand that now. But Lady J, the only thing that's stopping us from having that campaign is us, because we got more than enough people. We got more than enough people with just Gye-Nyame right now to really start educating people about social media and about your responses to shit, and how some stuff don't need a response, because when you in any form of fashion, when you respond to it, you spread the virus.
Not only do you have enough people in Gye-Nyame Journey, you have an entire school building with middle school kids. This is something that I would use. That's
a whole different thing, because like with middle school kids and young people, they still exploring the ratchet. That's the
and I understand that.
Right.
And nothing stops me from looking at the ratchet. Nothing stops me from looking at a video of people fighting Hatem, but I just have enough sense to know not to like it, comment, or share it. And all I'm saying is the information has to be put out there, because it's not. People don't understand that, Hatem. It's very simple.
Now, but what I'm saying now, part of the challenge that we have is making the view that we have, the view that we have is rare. The view that we have is isolated. So I'll go to a young person and express the view. And out of every 10 that I talk to about this view, I will get one. Because the other views are winning, because they have their they have their propaganda experts working to make sure that I'm only able to get one. Now, I'm just saying, this is why it's important for us, as far as in our conversation, where we start sharpening our knives and we start being able to create the campaigns that we need. And a lot of campaigns don't have to be announced as campaigns, because they will grow organically from what we're doing. At least I believe it'll grow organically from what we're doing.
When I say a propaganda campaign, Hatem, what I'm saying is, even when you have your group of individuals who will work to make these memes, who will work to make these posts to be shared, they will be shared publicly.
Wait a minute.
Be shared just like the rest of this stuff is shared.
Right.
Because you have to get it out. You have to get it out to the masses. You can't. It's not going to work. Just like you said, within the group, we like-minded. We're not the people that need to hear it. We're not the people. A lot of the stuff that we talk about, we already do.
Lady J, now this is the issue for me. I mean, because this where me and your philosophy start running into problems, right? Because like you saying, I'm concerned specifically about my group. I'm concerned about those that do think like me. I'm just praying that the girl from Columbus is not one of my peoples. You understand what I'm saying? Even though she my people, but not one of my peoples. You understand what I'm saying? Because I honestly believe...
No, I don't.
All right, cool. When I say you one of my peoples, your friend that don't listen to shit that we talk about is not necessarily my people. If you hurt, I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily my people. See, I have to draw a border. You can't have a nation. We can't talk nation builder and not have borders. You have not become a citizen of this nation. God damn it. I feel you. I feel for you. I feel for you. Right? But you ain't become a citizen.
Yeah, I'm not.
You ain't on that. And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that that's wrong.
I'm gonna say again why, Hatim, because
why? But let me explain why. Because when you have something wide open, right? Anybody can do. See, you got to understand who I roll with and how we roll. See, I got men with me, right? I got men with me that in some cases will go on if I'm offended or if I'm hurt. They'll roll with me regardless. They won't even try to talk sense into me. Roll with me, and then we got 5 brothers that might be in some trouble because I felt a certain way about somebody that wasn't necessarily with us. See,
it's not
you
even
can't.
about that.
Yes,
Hakim.
see, no, see, I disagree with you on that.
Putting messages out, you're putting them out to the masses to enlighten the masses.
But the masses are not with me.
You want to enlighten and bring people into the fold.
I want to bring them. Where do I want to bring them to, Lady J? This is the point. This is what I'm trying to constantly get to you. It's sort of like having a political party. It's sort of like having a business. You know, just because we making money, I can't give everybody money. The motherfuckers that's doing the work got to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The people that's
okay. So let me go back to something I said.
But hold on. But this is from Brother Kwame. He said, "Lady J, you keep putting my school on blast." I know it was caught on video at my high school, but it happens that it's not recorded at great numbers of high schools. And what happened in Atlanta with the Columbus sisters, a consequence of these sick attitudes among both adults, which are passed on to our minors. Now, and I want to let me
one more time. He said, "What school am I putting on blast?"
Oh, South.
The little boy with that.
Yeah, South. So
again,
wait. You can address it. Hold on, you can address it. But please understand that he's joking and he's just bringing out the point.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, but one thing that happened as a consequence of that, like I said, that I later learned that was family. But even before knowing it was family, people were offended by me and my argument that the adult was to blame. The adult was to blame. You have somebody making anywhere from $91 to $97 an hour, and you have the one job, and that was to supervise. You have the one job. And so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know if I see a group of kids huddled, that requires I need to go see what they huddled around. That's keeping you safe, because last thing I want to do is have to be reactive when I could have been proactive. You see what I'm saying? So a lot. I came under fire on Facebook when I said that I agreed that the substitute teacher should have been fired. Oh, but these kids these days, it's all the kids' fault. It's all the kids' fault. Yeah, but when you send your kid to school, you expect them to be supervised by a competent adult, and that was not the case.
I'm taking it from a balanced view. Kids need to be disciplined more severely, and the adult need. You know what I'm saying?
You know why they wasn't disciplined?
Oh yeah, I already know.
Disciplined because
the parents gonna come up.
Disciplined because somebody could have brought a lawsuit.
Exactly.
Somebody could have brought a lawsuit.
Oh my God! And see, and this is part of the issues that we don't even understand. See, because there's a community breakdown, a community responsibility breakdown, and like I said, because anybody can belong and everybody got rights with us. You know what I'm saying? You could have ruined that the family. The boy who was getting head could have sued the school and probably got about $250,000 for being put out of school. I'm just letting y'all know right now. The girl who was giving head could have gone and I mean this shit is crazy, and y'all don't even understand. And all of this is part of what Lady J always talk about, that What's the mechanism? You use the word propaganda. The whole propaganda piece that works against us. This is why, Lady J, I keep on talking about we have to establish borders. And I know you don't feel me on that, but that's cool.
No, I don't.
You don't need. I accept that. And I appreciate that.
Will, but it's okay.
No,
like you said,
I'm willing to bet money. I'm willing to bet money that you still young. You a young Pisces, right? And I could dig it because listen, I was reaching out to everybody when I was your age too. And, you know what I'm saying, you smart, but I was where you were.
It's not even about reaching out to everybody.
Yes, it is. Lady J.
I don't need to hoard the information.
No,
why would I need to
Lady J, you never heard me. Lady J, you never heard me. You're gonna have to call. You never heard me say anything about hoarding information. I'm always gonna share information. What I need is for when I get the information and somebody feel it. Is there some type of commitment to us? You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Okay, so
I'm not rolling. See, because listen, I'm in a different position as you. I'm expected to roll. So now that sister that's down there in Atlanta, and something happened to her, she would be, if she knew us, she would be one of the ones talking about how black women aren't defended. And I need to defend her. Now, if she was in my circle, I would have to do something. But if anybody could be in my circle, then at any given time I could be called to the battlefield.
I'm not
on that shit.
And I'm not saying that everyone's in your circle. That's not what I'm saying. I never said that either. I've never said that either. But what I said was, whenever there is a campaign and you began to educate the masses, you put the message out there for the masses.
Listen,
but maybe only one, two, three. It's like going fishing. Like going fishing. You got all those fish. Every fish ain't going to take the bait. It ain't going to be enough bait for everybody to take anyways. But the ones that take the bait is the ones that we meant to reach anyways. That's my whole point.
Lady J, you never heard me. See, and this is where I don't understand how we get separated in this discussion. You never heard me say at all. Listen to me. You never heard Brother Hatim say that we shouldn't get information out to the masses. What you hear Brother Hatim say is that we have a certain tribe that we belong to and that we protect. And we got to be like that.
I agree. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And everybody's going to be, and people are free to start their own tribes.
And all that. But you can't run to me. Agree. You can't run to me and mine is talk about that, because we all look alike. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to take action with me. Then shit, what's the benefit? What's the benefit? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is because, listen, my whole life, I have been, I was sent out of Akron by my grandmother because my grandmother said, listen, you're going to end up getting killed for somebody else. I mean, so when people come at me talking about, yo, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? I had to move my residence and I had to, you know what I'm saying? I was shot because I was helping other people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just that's me.
I lost a friend and this just came up last night. I lost a friend who went to help a friend, a very good young man that my family grew up with. That was a part, our families were friends coming up. He went to help a friend and he was shot and murdered. And that's not the only incident. I have been out helping people. I tell this story all the time. Right. It's so many stories I could tell. But one time I'm at the corner store, right, Weber and Cleveland Avenue. And there's this man in there. He got this long trench coat on. He looks to be homeless. He's a black man. So the people that work at the store, now mind you, I just walked in and got into the line. And they're cursing this thing. They're accusing him of stealing. And so I immediately rushed to the man's defense. And the minute I open my mouth and start arguing for this man, he opens his coat. And inside his coat is everything from the wallpaper to the tile. He has stole everything. I got kicked out, too. One time I went to help a woman who I thought was being beat by a man at another corner store on Hudson Market. I never forget that day. My kid's father told me, Janelle, mind your business. Just mind your business. I said, no, that's not right. This man is going to fight this woman. I go in the store. I said, please call 911. There's a man outside about to fight this woman. They look at me like I'm going to mind my business. So I walk out. By this time, the man is beating the woman up. I yell, you can't do that work. You leave her alone. Stop fighting. I'm trying to break up the fight. Come to find out, it wasn't a man at all. It was a woman who looks like a man. So then I had to walk to my car and tell him, carry on. Right? Stop always. I even helped a murderer one day. A man murdered this woman on the west side. I saw him. He looked lost. I said, sir, are you lost? He said, yes. Can I use your phone? I said, of course you can. I gave him my phone. I gave him the phone. He called somebody. They pulled up, gave him a ride. And don't you know, 2 minutes later, the squad was knocking at my foster father's door because that man had murdered a woman and was on the run. They had to search the house and everything. So I have a habit of helping people that don't need no help at all.
Because you me. Because you me.
What?
Because you me. I
do. I got that.
I be saying, that's that Pisces. And I'm like, yo, I already know that. And this is why I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, I have to limit, or I'm going to try to help and save the world while mine is drowning. No.
Lady J, you a Pisces?
Huh? Lady J is a Pisces. I told you, yeah. Lady J is a Pisces. Lady J is a female me in my late 30s. You know what I'm saying? I already know that shit. I be listening to a conversation. I did this shit. And it's like, I got to, and it wasn't until I start entering my 40s where I start really getting into this whole late 30s, getting into this tribe thing. Like, boom, because I had to start isolating because I'm putting my life on the line for people that would do nothing but wear a t-shirt for me for about a week and then they'd be gone. So wisdom be left out here by his goddamn self. I'm helping all these people, and there is no benefit towards the group and the stuff that I'm building. These motherfuckers will go out here and fuck up their own lives. And I'm like, we have a responsibility when we talking about nation building, about making sure that we are helping those that are following within the line of struggle that we're following. And yes, we need to get the information out to many as people as possible. But we can't run to everybody's aid because everybody ain't running to our aid. Because I know along with this, with the stories you telling me, Lady J, you have had examples where you have stepped up to help people and was out there by your goddamn self. As a matter of fact, the individual.
I sure have.
Well, hold on. Let me finish the description. I'm gonna finish the description for you. Where you stepped out boldly to help somebody, and not only did the motherfucker that you stepped up against the person, you know what I'm saying, to protect the person from jumped on you, but the motherfucker that you was trying, or fatherfucker that you was trying to help.
Silent of the lamb.
Not only silent, no, but listen, maybe you ain't running to this one yet, where the motherfucker that you was trying to help start helping the motherfucker that you was trying to defend them against.
Oh, I have.
Then
I have.
Baby, that's your call to try.
Yes,
that's your call.
Yes.
That's your call to try.
This is the thing. Okay, but this is the thing again. When I think about nation building, I think of networking, right? And I think that there are many different positions within that people are going to do. You know, it's like your I don't know I can't think of what they call it, but it's basically like an infrastructure, or you're building an infrastructure. So different people are going to have different things that they do, and there's going to be different kind of objectives. There's going to be different responsibilities for different people in that network. And so, like, if I were to give myself a title as to where I see myself in this nation building scheme of things, I would want to call myself like the minister of propaganda, right? The minister of propaganda. My whole sole responsibility, or what I feel like I'm bringing to the table, is this idea of getting the images out there which will be shared and promoted, right? Getting the messages out there to the masses to cause the waves. Because when I talk about we're in the midst of the Great Awakening, I'm talking about a great wave that lingers out. That starts at the core, at the home, in my community, but also it waves out, right? It waves out and it touches other people, and so it causes that ripple, and that's what I want. That's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of just putting it out there.
You know what that's
where
called?
People can share it, and it gets it reaches the most people possible.
Now, Lady J.
I've been toying with this. And I'm even learning more as I start to do public posts. I noticed like I've been in my feelings lately about this little boy I talked to. So a lot of my posts, which has never happened the last 90 days, have been about relationship stuff. Right? I watch people who I don't even know share my posts. So on their page, my picture is attached to my post that I
What's
share.
up, Ann?
So when I go,
Keep on going. I just said what's up to somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm starting to understand and see this, see it that so Facebook is always changing, right? But I've been experiencing with this. What's it called? I've been experimenting with this, so I see it. Anytime somebody that I've never met in my life can share my post, right, and add their dialogue, that's something deep.
Yeah.
It's something deep, and it lets me know that we have the foundation. Like I said, they have given us something, and what they banked on is that we would not figure out how to use it to our advantage.
Which they were wrong
that
at.
is the trick.
Now, but you know, Lady J, one of the things that you might want to consider, that you might not be the one to be able to propagate the news to the masses, but you might be able to be the one to propagate the news and the images to those who have access to the masses. And I don't know if do you understand the difference between that? You might not be the influencer of the masses, but you might be the influencer of the influencers of the masses. This is why
that's what happens when that's what happens with people. I feel like when people share your post.
Well, what I'm saying is, what would happen if you had what they call mavens? You had 10 mavens that were influenced by you. You might not be able to do what they do because there are certain people who have that je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of us in the movement don't have. We have it amongst people that wakes up.
You're right. And
you know what I'm saying?
That is what happens by default, Hakeem.
Well, what? What you mean by default? Because that shit don't happen by default.
That's what happens by default. So I know that there are, and I'm just, again, speaking on a micro scale. I know that I have people on my, who follow me or who are friends with me that have their own following, right? And their following may be bigger than mine because really, and I'm just speaking about my Facebook, not my Instagram, but my Facebook is mostly people whom I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People who I've worked with, people who I went to school with. But there are other people who will accept and befriend anyone, so their platform looks a little different from mine. Their influence is a little different from mine. But again, when these people are sharing my post with their followers, and then they end up sharing the post too, it causes that ripple. But again, what you said initially or earlier in the conversation about having a team of individuals, because I don't like my boy Deshaun. He's good with graphics. He makes the graphics. I have to have someone like that on my team. You see what I'm saying? I can come up with it. We could play around with it, but you got to have somebody who actually makes the graphics. You have to have someone who has printing press, right?
Have
you
a who?
have someone who's a printing press.
No.
To print up.
A printing press? You talking about like actual paper?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my God.
Why not?
Betty J, come on, baby. You so
Why
19.
not?
You was born 20 years too late, goddammit. Come on now.
Why not?
We in the
No, I'm gonna tell you. Let me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because on Mario Brothers, when you attack the monster, you attack with every weapon you had. You jumped. You used your firepower. You used everything you had. I'm not gonna limit myself to one avenue.
What you mean one avenue? When you digitize, hold on. When you digitize, you give people
you do digitize.
Hold on. When you digitize, listen to me. When you digitize, you give people access to be able to share the information in the way that they want. What you have to do is be able to digitize and give those people, like you're gonna have some people that's gonna want to share your information on paper. You're going to have those that's going to want to share it on Facebook. You're going to have those that want to share it on Instagram. What you have to be able to do is to be the curator of the information and, in a sense, the distributor, the channel through which that it goes and people could come to and get. This is why I've been talking about a Gye-Nyame Journey newsletter. Because, and I'm not talking about printing it up, because when you print it up, what happens is that you limit yourself, because most of us don't have a budget for the paper that we produce, or we're going to be stealing from other people.
But guess who does?
Who?
Guess who has a budget?
Who?
The people who, that's their damn job. The people who own these damn companies. And if we don't have someone that owns a company where that's what the hell they do, we need to bring them into the circle. Just like you need the person who makes the T-shirts in the circle.
But what I'm saying is now, right now, we don't have people. And then even with that, why waste the resource when you can use that resource for other stuff?
Okay. So let me tell you this again, Hatim. I'm thinking of this. And I want to try this in one community, and I would like to start in the Linden community for selfish reasons. But what I'm thinking, one vision that I've had, and I can't take credit, like I said, I can't take credit. I feel our ancestors give us the blueprint. But one thing that I am most interested in is setting up a code of standards, a code of ethics for how we operate in our area, in and around schools, in and around our community, right? Where we are amongst each other, printing up these standards, this code of ethics, right, and pasting it or placing it on your door, every door. You open up your door and there it is, voila. A list of the things that we are no longer going to accept, tolerate in our community. A way that we will operate. Everyone has it. Post it. It's just like Hammurabi. We go around and post it. We make sure that we let you know what we're not going to tolerate. And not only with that, you have something that they've already instituted in many communities where you have the citizens who are going to make themselves present and enforce and make sure that everyone knows what the new expectations are in and around that community.
But Lady J, listen to me, baby.
Don't we already have the first use of how you pronounce it, Maya?
Right, Maya. Go ahead.
So that sounds like something that will be. I mean, from what you're saying, it's not something that needs to be created. It just needs to be executed.
Right.
That's Mr. Tracy.
Yes.
Yes.
Voice recognition be popping. Carry on.
Lady J. I mean, that's an excellent idea. And if you want to start it up in Linden, we have the perfect place for you. But one of the things you're going to run into is that different people have different ideas, and you're going to have to run up against those different ideas, and you don't mind arguing. We got somebody that you can argue with about that. But now, Lady J...
Don't do that. You're going to blow the whole world up if you're talking about who I think you're talking about.
Who else is up in Linden? She talking about starting this shit up in Linden. We got the connect for you, girl. We got the hug.
I tell you like this, though. Lady J, man, I know we kind of had some difference of opinion. I really would love to maybe just have a conversation with you off the radio, just because I've been sitting here listening a lot, and I agree with most of the stuff you say. You know, I think that fundamentally, I think we pretty much have a lot of the same ideas. I think.
Are you speaking to me or Hatim?
She's speaking to you.
Speaking to you, Lady J.
I'm sorry, I clicked over. Can you start over? I apologize.
Oh, she just want to hear that shit. She heard all that shit. She heard all of that shit.
She gonna record it and play it back next time. No, you said before that. No,
that's some bullshit.
Who is this? Wait a minute. Who is this? First of all, I got to know who this is.
You gotta turn your voice recognition on. Now this is Tracy.
Quasi. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I know that might put a better context. Cause, you know, we it's been different times where we don't necessarily see eye to eye, but the more I'm listening, that's something I'm just challenging myself to do here lately is before I speak to really know what I'm responding to. So I like to just sit here on the line and listen a lot of times. It's easier to sit on the line and listen than be on Facebook because I can close my phone and ain't got to worry about it. But I was just saying that I think that I've been paying attention, and I think Pisces women are the zodiac gender that I have some of the sharpest disagreements with, and I have to this point have kind of had an inability, in a sense, to find that connection. So I kind of see the disagreement that you and I had as an opportunity, because one of the things I will say about you is that you are dedicated to the people when you are here doing real work. So I've got tremendous respect for what you do. You know, I think that I would like to get a better understanding of where you come from, and I feel like that would make us probably a stronger asset, stronger team than maybe we might be with somebody who we just automatically agree with. So I don't know. I just think that I really hear what you're saying, and I think we got a lot in common, and I would like to build with you for real.
I told you we had a lot in common. You just don't listen. You didn't listen.
I've been sitting here listening for the last 70 minutes. I ain't even saying that. 47 minutes. This is the first time I got a physical sound.
I'm just playing.
Coming at my neck. Look, I'm about to put my neck brace on. But yeah, I do sincerely want to extend that invitation. Yeah, I would like to connect, and I would like to see how we can contribute to each other's vision.
Listen. Because I heard some bullshit while I was there. See, I love my people because y'all be talking. I was able to go and do a whole load of laundry while y'all was talking. Lady J, she heard you the first time. She just wanted to make sure she got you on tape, saying her name, and you know who it is, and all that. That's what she do. She's a Pisces.
I have something else to say. I have this to say, too.
You always
so yesterday,
Go ahead.
So yesterday, I'm on Facebook, right? And two things have happened. My friend, a good friend of mine, went on Facebook the other day, and he said he wanted to. It's gonna be a moment. He said he wanted to start a business, and he said, I want to start a cleaning service. So I said. So I read the post, and then I called him immediately on the phone. I told him that I had this tool that I would like to introduce to him. But I also told him I really want you to sit and think about before you start this business, what business is needed. Because it feels like, to me, people go invest their money, they start these businesses, but they start the same businesses that other people have already started versus now let me come invest in your business, because now we're not competing with others, we're competing with each other. You see what I'm saying? And it's counterproductive again to our progression as a people. So I had that conversation with him. It goes well. So yesterday, I'm on Facebook. I see another post, and the guy is talking about these stores in the community. And so I just use one word, cooperative economics. So then another guy comes on and he's like, yeah, that's why, we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. We should be celebrating Kwanzaa. Now, I'm cool with that. But I'm wondering, you just said all this, do you celebrate Kwanzaa? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So then he tells me about how all these people wouldn't be receptive to Negro pins, wouldn't be receptive to Kwanzaa. And then I say to him what you say. I said, well, Columbus happens to have one of the greatest and best Kwanzaa celebrations probably in the country. Were you there?
Nope.
Were you there? And then to tell him just what you say. It may be right now that we already have a group of people that we could collaborate with to get these things done, right? We already had so many people in that building to present this to is already like-minded, right? But my thing is, we'll always go with the negative. You see what I'm saying? We're quick to go with the negative, what people aren't going to do, instead of seeing what we already have before us. You know what
So
I'm
now I'm
saying?
going to put this piece to the fire, Lady J, since you're saying that, because we had a negative experience, and I extended the opportunity, and you didn't really respond to it. So are you going to stick to the negative experience that we had, or are we going to allow ourselves to build something positive from our experience?
Y'all gonna, I got that. I got that, brother. I got you.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. I got you. That's what being a elder in the group could do. Now, Lady J, I want to challenge you on the whole piece, because you got a beautiful idea, and a lot of times one of the things that we run up into is that we think that we were the first with it and nobody ever did it, but it's already been done and stuff like that. Now,
our ancestors have
everything
given us the blueprint.
Not only have they given us the blueprint, they gave us the actual working system where they was able to do it now. But I'm gonna challenge you on this, because any principal system that we talk about utilizing, you can't force that on the masses. What you have to do is demonstrate within your group that it works. And by demonstrating within your group that it works, then you can offer it to the masses. Now, you're talking about having a system of what we don't do and rules of what we can do and stuff like that. But can we first tribally get some shit popping off so that people can start seeing that the system that we have is very beneficial? Because oftentimes our people get people coming to them saying, hey, you need to try this. But yet, the people that's suggesting it to them are not using it. And Miss Tracy, if you still on you fell off the line. What's going on? I know you wasn't done with that. Is that all she called in for?
What did she say when she called in? My friend, she lost her husband. He's Ghanaian, and so I'm sure that you're familiar with the extensive funeral arrangements that require traditional service. So she has been calling me. I am going to be assisting her, so I kept having to click over. So I missed. What did Miss Tracy say?
Check 1, check 2. Damn, we just lost the signal on Spreaker. I don't know what's going on. Check 1, check 2. Oh, man. All right, let me go and get them over to... Oh, my God. What happened? We was just doing so good. But keep on going, family. But I'm just saying, I think... Okay, cool. Something happened. I'm thinking...
So but it has been done in the past.
Right, and what I'm saying
is... What I'm speaking of, it's already been done, so the research will prove that it works.
Right, but...
There's research to prove that this works.
But you need to have the people... How can I put it? It's sort of like having a colonist mind state to be like, I'm going to enforce this on you from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Rather than being like, boom, I'm one of you, and I'm exercising this within the group that I'm in, and it's working, and we're inviting you in.
But, okay, this is my thing. We're the one thing specifically, I'm just speaking specifically for what for what I stated about, the Linden area, right? Mm-hmm. In order for us to show that it worked, okay, so one great place we could try it out is in a school, maybe, where everybody shares in a community, right? But I'm thinking within our circle, we all live in different, we don't live in that one community, right?
Right.
We don't all live together in one community. So I get what you're saying, before the vision that I have, that I have had for several years, and I've just not figured out how to implement, or how to start its implementation. Is that you would try it out in a place, and that place would be, like I said, the Linden community being the pilot, and then you would go off into other places near East Side, places like that, and you would be able to then have the evidence that you have implemented this, and the response was this. Crime rate down this.
Young Pisces. Young Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Young Grasshopper, let me help you. All right. Listen, baby. It's not even necessarily that you need a whole community. What I'm saying is, you can have a group that's dispersed all over and people exercising, using these principles, and you're able to show some success. Because let me say something to you. When we're dealing with the masses don't give a fuck about numbers. They don't give a fuck about statistics. They want to belong to something. Because if it was if it was really about statistics and numbers and shit, now one of them would be at a mosque or a church right now. Because there is no statistical proof that Jesus is coming back or the Mahdi is going to return. There is absolutely nothing. They don't move. We don't move on the numbers. We move on the emotional. You know what I'm saying? And that's people in general. That's so we have, as a group, we have to show that what we're doing not only works for us, but it makes us feel good, because people want to belong to something that makes them feel good. I don't want some shit that I have to be hard and
what are you belonging to? What are you belonging to?
Who, me?
No, I'm not requiring them to belong to anything. What I'm telling them is what we will not allow in our community. I grew up in that community.
You're laying down laws. You're laying down laws that you can't. You laying down laws that outside of an organization you will not see, because this the piece. You can't lay down laws if you don't have, in a sense, a nation or a group or something. You're laying down laws. We will do, we won't do. What's the consequence?
I just told you.
What's the consequence?
One thing that we're going to do is put people in the community who will police the community. I don't know what the consequence is going to be, but I know that we will be enforcing.
So you're going to be holding people hostage?
Policing. No, when we see it, we address it. Right now, what goes on in these communities is people who are so in fear of these hooligans. What do I want to call them? Hoodlums. What do we call them? What was that word they were using a couple years ago?
Savages?
They're so in fear of the savages. Yeah, they're so in fear of them that what we do is when we see kids, because a lot of times it's the young people holding their community hostage, we turn our head because nobody wants to address them.
No. It's not that nobody wants to address them, Lady J, because it's like, boom, the people and the population that you need to address them is males. And males understand that once you start some shit like that, there's no turning back.
Males are afraid.
Oh, okay, cool.
They need to return to the throne.
No, listen to me. Once again, this is talk coming from somebody who has never, in a sense, had to really put it out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not a male, so you really don't understand that shit. Listen, you can say that males are afraid, but it's like this. Who gonna take care of some of these men's families when they have to leave here doing the shit that you talking about?
You know what? What's my dude's name? Nelson Mandela. He's already told us what happened.
Nelson Mandela. See, because in order for me to do what I need to do with some of these young people, the savages as we call them, some of our nieces and nephews, and you know what I'm saying, is going to either one, because when certain things escalate to a certain point, as a man, you already know that if it gets to a certain point, somebody about to leave here. There ain't no negotiation. And because what you talking about doing is taking away from these young savages the bone that, in a sense, others have provided for them to be able to make their living.
What I'm talking about is giving the power back to the community and putting the unity back in the community, providing them with some support,
that unity has a
that
cost.
would allow them to not wreak havoc on people who look like them.
But what I'm saying is,
giving them the treatment
listen,
that they require to deal with some of the things that they've been dealing with, that they just been, because we say hurt people. We never deal with some of the things that these kids may have experienced or these young people may have went through that have caused them to be.
So you want to give them all therapy? You want to give them all therapy?
Some of them.
See, because what about the ones?
Support groups, not only for them, I want support groups for their families.
What about? See,
let me tell you this.
But you're not going to therapy some of these motherfuckers out of making money. When that's what they've been taught is all that's life is about.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead. And what you're saying is, Brother Hatim, we need to go take over Linden, right? But you're not going to give me a mechanism that's going to be able to take care of my kids when we do what needs to be done.
Let me tell you something that I realized. 4 years working at the detention center, right? I did intake. So when the kids came in accused of crimes, I was the person that did their paperwork, right? And so what ends up happening is I start seeing some pattern. And what I realized is that Linden was the most violent area with respect, and that they had buried more of their classmates, more young people than any place in Columbus. When you look at the map, I go into the school, I specifically asked to go into Linden to do my student teaching. While there, we had a kid that was actually murdered at the McDonald's, if you remember that, in front of 7th and 8th graders while walking home, right? So I go into the school, and what I realized is that while I was helping to intake those kids who were accused of murder, a lot of these kids that were murdered went to the same school. They all grew up together. So what I realized, and I also realized this one time when I was subbing at their school, which is what caused me to ask to be placed there, what I realized is that these kids are dealing with trauma. They have experienced trauma. If I have to keep burying my friends, these kids have been to more funerals, have lost more classmates than I've lost friends. Right? And so when you are trying to figure out why these kids are behaving in the way that they're behaving, but you have not even taken into account the traumatic experiences that they have experienced, the fact that they have watched their classmates, some of them watched their classmate be murdered, watched it with their own 2 eyes, and all they're doing is walking home from school. A lot of these kids, when they walk home, they see the yellow tape every day. They have become, what is it called? Like desensitized. From something that we shouldn't have to. There are no children there. There are no children here. When they talk about Chicago, they say there are no children here. That's the Linden community. That's the Linden community. So if we do not go into those schools and offer support and teach the whole child, the same thing they do out here in New Albany. New Albany does not have the best schools because they are a suburb. What they have is that they have a way to deal with the fact that they have the highest suicide rate. They got counselors in there every day providing support for those kids. They got people in there providing support for drug addiction. And so in response to providing some care for the whole child, having full-time physician counselors and things of that sort in the school, they're able to produce the scores that they have. And I'm not saying that the fact that their school has a lot of money doesn't contribute to that, but I'm saying that those kids are experiencing traumatic experiences as well. Suicide at an alarming rate. But they have, as a district, they figured out as a high school what their kids needed, and they gave it to them. We're not giving that to them. Anytime you had a teacher commit suicide last year from Linden, and no one ever heard about it. The teachers are over there working in conditions that shouldn't be. They have to get them support. So I'm just saying, if I'm thinking about a program and I want to pilot, that's what, and I come from that community. My granddaddy had a house out there. I remember what it used to be, and I draw parallels to what it is now. I draw no parallels to what it is now. So that's all I'm saying, hot team. And then you try it out there, and then you take it somewhere else. But we have to put in some support. We have to put in some support. Those hurt people. So when we're thinking about what those kids are doing in that community, we got to know it's because of what they have experienced. I have to go. My meeting is starting, and she's been so gracious to have given me this time. to wrap this up, and I look forward to
I'm about to piss you off. Hold on, let me piss you off before you go. Let me piss you off before you go. I got my hanky out. I got my hanky out, and I'm wiping my tears for all the shit that you saying. I really am. But baby, like I said, until you have some people that's willing to put it on the line, you know what I'm saying? Not just inside the school, but outside the school as well. You got to start. I honestly believe that everything starts with the family and the tribe first. I'm just saying.
Let me ask you something. Historically, was the school not the hub for the community?
No, it wasn't.
In the past, has the school ever been the hub for the community?
Has the who?
Has the school ever served as a hub for the community?
No. For us, no. For us, no.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. This is why I enjoy, and I wish I can come back and serve as an administrator at the building where you work at, because I believe that's what we're missing. We have the children, we have the audience. We need to get their parents in there and have the school begin to serve as a hub for the community. Now, the bad part about that is that your students don't really live in that community, just like at my school.
Exactly.
But that's from all over. And that is at a disadvantage.
That's part of the agenda. That's part of the plan. That's part of the plan.
Allowing the school to serve as a hub. You do have a community that is very close by that is also dealing with a lot of trauma. They also have things. They also have people who have watched, have to work. See all of this.
Give me one more second. Brother Kwame says, think of the different ministries in the book 1984 when Ministry of Information handles the propaganda. Brother Kwame says she's darn propaganda minister. Don't repeat anything to her because it might be used against you.
We went back to 1984.
Yeah, you know.
We should go back to 1933.
After archives as well.
We should pull it all out. Our ancestors left us a blueprint. If we want to understand where we are, we have to know where we've been. So we should go all the way back. But I love you guys. I just want to remind you all that we are in the midst of the Great Awakening. Do something today and every day in the name of the movement, whatever that is. And just God bless everyone. But this is nation building time. It's nation building time. You guys have a great day. It's nation building time.
Nation time, goddammit, nation time. So now it's just me and Shaka on the line. Lady Jada hung up on us. But go ahead, Brother Shaka. What you want to talk about today? Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about illusion.
Illusion. Don't you?
Well, you know what? I kid, but you know we all live in our own world, man, where even our neighbors have a whole different understanding of what's going on in their neck of the woods.
Hell yeah!
Just based on what we feeding us from inside of our own heads. It's amazing. It's amazing that we don't understand. Like when you sit between four walls and you look at your own thoughts trying to interface into some progress, and then the people inside of your house, they thought trying to interface with yours, and with all of that, if there is no synergy, then it's just mass confusion inside of the house. And then to add to that, you got your programs coming on from Netflix to Hulu, and all of these programs, people ain't realizing they call programs for a reason. You know what I mean? That monitor is called a monitor for a reason. So we want to take it back to 1984. Let us take it there, because they were called monitors then, because you're watching this eye that's watching you back, right? So we look at the programs that we watching that's programming us, just like the Matrix. You know what I mean? Are we learning from it to build, or are we learning to destroy? Or are we learning just as a distraction to keep things going on? We are like off of the Matrix. Remember when he was explaining like all the dead bodies come back together, or all the dead energy comes back together and feeds the newborns in the Matrix? Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like is going on right now. Let's talk about it.
You talking about eating dead people?
No,
I'm
talking about the illusion.
Illusion. I mean, but
The
shit.
illusion.
I mean,
Let me ask you this. What do you think the top three most disturbing delusions people have on a mass basis?
Top three. Well, first off, illusion of. Well, actually, I would say I'm gonna give you one, and it's illusion of being able. The illusion of not. Well, let me put it this way: not knowing where they are, when they are, and where they are in history.
Okay, now I want to make sure, just for those sticklers out there, is there a difference between delusion and illusion?
A delusion is a total wrong view. Let me put of what's real, or it's sort of like if you're looking through a screen. Because a part of it is blocked out, you don't get the whole picture.
So a delusion is a funhouse mirror.
Basically, the delusion, you're looking at the reality, but it's warped. An illusion is you're totally missing the reality. You're basically making up some shit. Your mind, from your past experiences, is making up a reality that does not fit in the lab. So a delusion, at least you're looking at reality, but the reality is misshaped. But the illusion is totally internally created by you or imposed upon you by outside forces. What is this on my shirt?
Now let me ask you this then, Hachim.
Go ahead.
Let's take that definition of an illusion, something that is totally from your ancestral memory, so to speak. You are drawn into a space or an event or a thing that does not exist right now.
Right.
What if that thing, that illusion, is actually your big picture?
Say again.
And it exists. Your big picture. Like your goal. Like a goal. Right? And it is up to you to follow a certain protocol so that it can manifest.
So if the illusion is something that you have to follow, because I got to ask you this: if an illusion is something that's out there, but you got to follow certain protocols to make it exist, then I have to ask the question: was it really ever really an illusion? Because if I could go through steps to make it real, then that means that it wouldn't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't make something real. Real is real.
But here's the piece.
Go ahead.
Maybe it wasn't an illusion to you, but it might have been an illusion to your neighbors.
Then, I mean,
because all they have,
go ahead,
as evidence of that is your behavior.
Right.
They see you moving towards a thing that doesn't exist to them. Right? And then one day when it finally exists, it's like, wow. Now in context, he makes a lot of sense. All these years, I just thought he was chasing the horizon. Right?
So now,
go ahead.
I'm just wondering, because if what you was chasing was an illusion, but now it's real, the question I have to ask was whether it was really illusion. Like, for example, people flying. For a long time, you had individuals pursuing flight. Now we hear about people flying from coast to coast every day. And it's not that flight didn't exist. What it is was that the technology in order to fly people didn't exist. Right? There's basic laws out there that could be taken advantage of, and because I wasn't able to see those laws, it didn't mean that flight didn't exist. Flight always existed. Flight was always available. It's just the fact that we didn't have access to it. So in a sense, this individual has just went deeper into the reality that we are in, rather than creating a new reality, because a new reality, in a sense, cannot, in a sense, be created. Especially because is it really new if it comes from elements that are working within the old illusion? Maybe my sight is limited by where I am right now. This is why I say one of the major illusions is not knowing where you are, when you are, and why you are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of time people are struggling because they don't know where they are. They don't know when they are.
Right.
And they don't know why they are. So a lot of times they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like,
Yeah.
and because they're struggling, they're not only getting a delusion, but they're operating on total illusionary circumstances to manifest some shit. And because they're using the wrong laws, because they're trying to pull the wrong levers, they are not able to accomplish what it is they're trying to do. But somebody else is on the line as well. Oh, damn. That's me. Who is that?
It's Tracy.
Oh.
So what you just explained was that what I need to know is to decipher the difference between an illusion and a vision.
Illusion and the... Oh. Now. Go ahead, Shaka. Hit it.
Man, you know, I've always, okay, so to me, the difference between a dream and a vision is the work you put behind it. So the difference between an illusion and a vision has to be as well the intention you put into it.
I mean, what I just heard about an illusion is, you know, something that's not being seen from the neighbor. Like, you see something that the neighbor isn't seeing, but then once you put it into effect, you know, then it becomes a reality. Then the neighbor can see it. That sounds like a vision to me. You know, if somebody's talking about their vision, and you know, depending on, you know, if you're talking to somebody that's small-minded, they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it. They're going to think you're crazy. You know. Right. However, once you make it happen, then the reality is, oh, you better say you're going to do that. I see it now. So that's what I'm saying. It sounded like, you know, when you were talking about the illusion, it sounded like the vision. So, I mean,
you know, and
the difference between the two is kind of like one and the same.
Well, no. Wait. Illusion.
But here's the thing. Let me say this right quick, Hotel.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I have to treat my vision like an illusion so that it doesn't drive my neighbor crazy. The thing is that when you move, like, I move with such a state of emergency that if somebody's trying to understand, like, what's making him move that way, and they finally get it, then they, to some degree, feel obligated to move towards that. Maybe not. I done lost.
Don't worry about it. You buffering. That's
okay.
What we're here for.
I just want to point my bottom line out is how I'm hearing the illusion been explained. It sounds like a vision to me. An illusion where you can be, you know, there's different illusions. How about that?
Now now there's a difference between an illusion and a vision. Now, an illusion is a dream, or not even a dream, is a view of something that does not exist. A vision is a view of the possibilities within reality. See, there's a distinct. An illusion is a motherfucker that's just you're pursuing something that does not exist and cannot exist. A visionary is somebody that's able to look into the reality and see possibilities within that reality that other peoples cannot see. See, because we got to understand, this is what I meant by if something is existing, how can I put it? Flight. Let's even take it even farther. TV did not exist. But somebody was able to take the qualities and the properties within the present reality and be able to stream them so that we will be able to communicate today. Now that shit was not an illusion. That was somebody applying basic principles that exist in the reality we have now to make something manifest within that reality using the basic laws of that reality. An illusion is when you are totally looking, you're not even in reality. You're looking at something that does not exist, that cannot exist.
Hey, so let's take it a step further. Hatem.
Go ahead.
Would you in your lifetime, would you in this lifetime, come on, man. All right. Would you in this lifetime put on a squirrel suit and jump off a top of a cliff? Fly.
Now, would I? Now, depending on the material that is made.
Delusional.
No, wait, hold on. Hold on. That's not delusional because I have seen people do that. There are certain suits that has the flying squirrel piece because there is such thing as a flying squirrel. And it's only so much material that I need in between my arms to be able to glide down from the top of a mountain safely. I have seen other people do this. I have heard about people doing this. And then on top of that, by me looking and having some experiences with physics and some experiences with taking a piece of paper and folding it properly and flying it and watching it come down gently to the ground, I think that it's possible for me to do that. Now, I go up on top of a mountain and I can prove my hypothesis, or some people would say theory, and I have the right material, the right amount of material up under my arms and dress like a squirrel and jump off, and I could go to my death, or because of because of the physical laws that I am putting into effect, I will glide down to the ground safely. And I'm saying that I have seen it done. Matter of fact, you get on YouTube right now and see a motherfucker in a squirrel suit. It might not be great, but you look up under their arms, they got something simulating the skin of a flying squirrel on their suit, and they're able to jump and glide if they up high enough. But somebody we got.
The question was, will you do that in this lifetime?
Is it who?
Will you do that in this lifetime?
Who, me?
Yeah, that's what he asked you.
Hell yeah, that shit sounds fun as hell.
Okay.
See, because it's like this. It's like this because
would you be more or less man, my words this morning.
Don't worry about it.
So if Cleve asked you, Dad, my friends going to Niagara Falls and they do the Squirrel Man thing every year. They got an extra suit. Can I go with them? Would you be more reluctant or less reluctant to send Cleve out to do that?
Now, this is the point. If Cleve had to ask me, right, I'd be like, no, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is now. But you said, because I want you to listen to clearly what you said. You said the Squirrel Man thing that they do every year. So there's enough motherfuckers surviving the Squirrel Man thing that they've been doing it every year prior to Cleve doing it. Right. So there's a good chance that Cleve could survive. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? My whole piece is, one, looking at basic physics, that shit is possible. That shit is very possible. So go and do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of this, right? My issue is, if you got to go with it on a vision. Because listen to me, because what he's doing is not against physical law. Some of the shit that some of these people out here is talking about, especially in our culture, is against physical law. It defies any existence. Some of the shit that some people are telling us that you could do with melanin, some of the shit that you could do with just drinking certain types of water, some of is not scientifically based. Let's don't even use science. is not based on anything but their motherfucking belief. But a motherfucker jumping off the top of Niagara Falls in a squirrel suit, I can look at that and physically, and depending on the amount of material between his ass and his underarms, I could determine whether or not he's going to survive. That's not illusion. That's vision. But some of these motherfuckers are having illusions, and we have to be clear on it. Because some of these illusions are leading us down a path of destruction, family. Some of this shit that niggas say. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But we got somebody calling in from 740. Who this on my line? Who this on Gye-Nyame line on 740? I'm thinking I know who it is. Is this?
Hey.
Who is this? Oh, what's up, family? Is this Aaron?
What's going on?
Okay. What's up? How you doing? And we also got Quasi on the line as well.
Yeah, what's up, Quasi? Wait, you doing the portal, man? You know, I gotta keep my eyes open, gotta see what's going on, even if I don't say nothing.
Let me say this. See, because just as crazy as the squirrel man, think about this. We got a crew of people that will drive an hour and go sit in a hot ass tent with a fire in the middle of the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Where people have been reported to have died. So I do want, you know what I'm saying? I want you to understand the type of individuals that we deal with too. You understand what I'm saying? Because we literally sitting in the middle of a tent with a fire. Sweating. We call it sweating, right? Hot rocks, rising up steam, and there have been reports of individuals being in these things and dying, but we know because we helped put it together how it's structured and how it's possible for air to get in at the same time that we keep it hot enough to do it because we understand the physics. We understand the pseudoscience or whatever we understand how it works. And more than likely, and what's crazy is that I would possibly put on a squirrel suit, and it won't be too many people behind. It won't be too long before somebody behind me put on a squirrel suit, even if I die. They'd be like, "Well, damn, he didn't have enough material." Well, be quiet, Miss Tracy. You already got on the goddamn squirrel suit. You just don't know it. You got on the squirrel suit. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Jumping about to jump off the goddamn mom, don't even realize it. You got on the squirrel suit. But go ahead, Aaron.
Oh,
now, Aaron, for those that don't know, he is, because you don't like the word science, so I can't even call him a scientist, but he's somebody.
No. I like science, I don't like pseudoscience. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. But he's been experimenting with some stuff, and I know he's going to bring up, because he probably on his break, because this is about the time he go on his break. You at work today? Because he in Florida. They don't get snow there.
Yeah. The whole time I'm on office, I'm listening to y'all. I'm becoming a regular, and I was going to tap into with the illusion and vision. And I just wanted to say, I know you're going to jump off in a minute, but I think illusion complements the vision and then becomes physical, meaning that the illusion part, it's not informed, and then once it's informed, it's called a vision, and then the vision becomes physical, and then it becomes real. But I think the illusion comes before vision, and it complements it.
Yeah.
Because when I wanted to think of how to create some type of electrical generator, it wasn't informed, it was without form, and it was illusional. And then I had the vision to actually make it physical, and then it complemented. But go ahead.
I will challenge you on that, Aaron. What you had wasn't illusional. What you had was a vision. See, illusional means that you believe some shit that don't exist. It's just you have a dream. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you had a vision because you had an idea how shit worked. and you found the physical laws in order to make what you thought of something that you can prove. But you use it.
What we're getting at is that you got to be willing for people to say that what you thinking is an illusion.
It's an illusion. I mean, it's not real.
To be labeled as delusional.
Right now.
Hey, so let me ask Aaron something right quick, and this because I'm an inventor too, man, but I want to make sure because there's a certain level of expertise that it takes to be able to build a prototype, right? So I want you to tell me, Aaron, if what I have in my mind is an illusion or it's a vision. All right? Now, dig this real fast. I used to work at Home Depot with a pro desk. And working there, I had an idea. Because I saw how, you know how, like, you want something, but it ain't on the floor, so they got to go get a machine to pick it up off the pallet. They got to get a pallet jack or a cherry picker or one of the machines to go get it. Well, that takes 2 spotters and an operator to be able to go do that, right? So my thing is that, you know, these big metal gates, what if I can create this thing that drops down on a tripod, and you got these Teflon pieces that connect to the dock, and you press the button, and it's got the light effect. So like if somebody's standing in the aisle, the light starts flashing. It's got the voice activation where it's like you're standing in a work zone. But please move. You know, it's got that thing going on. And the piece is that inside of Home Depot, all of that technology is already sold because the sensors are sold in the light aisle, and the voice activation is in all the Kitty brand, what do you call it, smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms. And I'm like, all we got to do is integrate all this technology into this one thing and build this, and we can change OSHA standards. Okay? I think it's very easy. I think if you pretty much just visualize it and you have the answer, you just got to get off that vision, and you're driven. Because if you're visualizing it, you already have the answer to your vision. Because when you got done, you saw you had the answer. That's part of vision. Mm-hmm. But I have no concrete evidence of it right now in my hand. Like,
but yes, you do. In a sense, you do. Because is anything that you're trying to put together, if anything that you're trying to put together outside of physical possibilities or technological possibilities as we know them right now, you're not even talking about. Aaron talking about drawing energy from using water. From he's able to prove that
It means that it's not really a vision yet. It means I'm searching for solutions. It's not informed. But when you were talking about Home Depot, from the beginning, you had the answers, and it's becoming driven. You're driven on your vision. It's not become physical. So go ahead. Yeah, well, see, that's what I wanted to hear. Because, you know, as creators, we walk around with all of these possibilities.
But hey, you want me to give
you? Others treat them like an illusion because they don't have. They can't. What it is because what you're saying at Home Depot and do it yourself section means that when people come up to the counter, they're pretty much drawing out their vision, and they have the answer, and then it's to you. Then once you get the illusion, once you get the vision, you'll become driven because illusion starts before vision. They both complement each other. Okay.
So we got Quasi on the line too. We got Miss Tracy on the line who got on. I mean, I think both of them might got on the score uniform and shit. They just don't know it and shit. Ready to jump off Niagara Falls, that as Shaka described it. So Quinn, Aaron, what you think about the question? What do you think about the question of jumping off a mountain with a squirrel suit on?
Well, you already created the manifest of that. You said, you know, hey, if there's other evidence that people already done it, then I'll do it. But if I'm the first to do it, you know, somebody's gonna have to treat the vision for it to be all right.
See, I mean, See, because what I'm saying is, family, the illusion, I mean, because like I said, man, when you ignore physical laws and shit, that's when we start running into problems. Like if I'm depending on a mysterious hand from heaven saving me as I plunge to my death, when, you know, that, no. There's certain rules that I could use to my advantage to bring a vision into manifestation, but the issue becomes when I start using my illusions, like God will save us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then in the same token, turn around and be like, we gods, and be like, well, damn, who gon', you know, if we gods, who the other guys is gonna save us? You know what I'm saying? Come on now, you know, this is some of the madness we got in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we do right and do, you know what I'm saying? Name one people that has been doing other people and doing right like us. So it's not all necessarily a moral. It's not a moral arc that has benefited us. We can see this shit. We see without a shadow of a doubt that many of us are existing in possibly. Let me just say this: possibly in a moral universe that don't exist. These motherfuckers have been raping, stealing, killing, you know what I'm saying, and doing all types of shit, and we exist in a moral universe, but our enemy, it does not exist in that moral universe, and we getting our ass handed to us because we sitting up here, you know.
But the illusion is that he is.
That we getting our ass whooped. That's the illusion.
No. The illusion is that he does live by the same laws, by the same rules, by the same constraints as we.
And they don't. And then because that comes from exploring other people's beliefs. Because there's a veer in the way that we believe that makes it possible for them to be able to go into another person's land, another person's house, take all their shit, smash it to the ground, take their house and claim it as their own, and throw that person out into the world, or even kill and be able to rape and do whatever it is. It's something in their belief system that allows them to be able to do this shit. And we don't even understand how close we are to fire when we be fucking with them. It's almost scary sometimes when I think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I got kids. Y'all know, I mean, we laugh, but I want y'all to understand the savagery. We think these niggas in the street, but even they have limits. I want you to understand these motherfuckers rolled through another motherfucker's land, exterminated them, brought another group to work on that land, and treated them motherfuckers like shit, and then justify the shit in history. What? And then these the same people that turn around and will play the moral card on you. How can your children be so violent? Go ahead.
If walking time tonight, I know I never told you my age. I'm 34. Well,
now I understand you and Quasi. Wait, hold on. Now I understand you and Quasi's relationship. Because Quasi was a mean-ass kid, too, because he's 36. So, obviously, he was picking on you on the basketball court. You need to come to Columbus and whoop his ass at basketball so that you can... I'm encouraging a game between Aaron and Quasi in a neutral place where we all could travel so we could see Aaron whoop Quasi's ass once and for all. Because Quasi was playing basketball with niggas 2 years younger than him. That's why he think he cold at it.
Aaron been convinced me to retire. I don't play basketball no more. Yeah, we don't play no more, brother. Okay. I'm playing, I ruptured my Achilles.
Oh, okay. You did what?
Yeah. I ruptured, they call it rupture, but I tore my muscle, my Achilles.
Okay.
Broken half.
So you old. You premature. You old. Just say it.
So that's what that means. Once you get in your
Go ahead, Aaron. You about to... Wait, hold on, Aaron. Just say it. Just say I'm old.
Yep. I'm getting there.
No, I ain't getting there. If you ain't playing basketball, because my old ass still get out and play a little bit of basketball. I can't play as aggressively as y'all. But you old. All right, but go ahead, brother.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. Okay. I slipped on the ice. I slipped on the ice earlier this week. And today I'm sitting here rubbing my knee like, man, I'm old. But,
nigga, fuck that. I slipped on ice and never failed. How about that?
Now, the reason, Aaron, man, like, the reason Aaron wouldn't let nobody come at him like that. You see what I'm saying? Aaron know that I smacked the shit out of somebody for him. You know what I'm saying? So, we done been through some real shit together. You know what I mean? So, like, like you iron sharpen iron, still sharpen steel. So we done been forced through the fire of battle out here for real, like. So I mean,
I already know. I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around, starting trouble. That's what I do. I'm a Pisces. That's what I'm a trickster spirit. That's what I do. So let's go. But you were saying something before we got to that. Go ahead.
Okay, so what the thing was, like I said, I was listening. I just like to always ask the question is, okay, to the elders, to the I don't know what to call you, but where are we at on the foundation of the blueprint? Are we like, because some people might think like, so how do we huddle up and fix this? The kids learn from, us and stuff. But where are we at on the foundation? Are we at the stairs? Are we at the window? Where are we at?
You asking us?
I'm asking everybody, yeah.
So the question is, where are we at?
Where are we at on the foundation? Did we go back down to the foundation? Are we failing them as adults? Are we failing our youth? Are we failing our children?
Oh.
Are they going to go up and say, hey, man, they didn't fight strong enough for me for all these chemtrails and these vaccines, and they didn't fight for us, and are they going to have to fight for themselves? But go ahead.
Us as let me bring it down a little bit more specific. Us as a group right now speaking, or us as a larger group, like all this shit is as a larger group, we have failed our young people.
Yes, I think
that's my perspective, and my perspective only.
Because we're minding our business too much. We're like, we're not getting to know our neighbors like we used to. My days to say, hey, that old lady, go take the trash out for her. We don't get to know each other, know our neighbors and stuff like that. And we're minding our business too much. We're not like, man's supposed to check man's, lady's supposed to check the lady. It's not the guy's job to tell that lady quit acting ratchet. The ladies need to stand up for their people, and we'll stand up on ours.
I agree.
When it comes down to it, man, I think that even those of us who are doing our best individually,
that's your head. Looking over at.
We are because we have to teach our kids to protect themselves from each other and from us. There's we are more scornful towards each other than people are from the outside. I want to say to a degree. But in doing so, I believe that the young folks, and I've experienced this before, where the young folks depend more on each other and have more trust and loyalty and will sacrifice more for each other because they just they recognize that they all in the same circumstance. The parents don't necessarily see eye to eye like that, and today I'm experiencing that. But I feel like we're not all lost. We may not have come to a point where we feel satisfied with the state of community within our communities. But independently, I can say that all I can do is stand as an example, or even issue a challenge as I have in the past, which challenges me as well. When we get to that hot 10, we talked about the Baba challenge. The thing is, for me, is that recognizing that we live in a fatherless, the era of the fatherless, then we are in a... Go ahead.
Now, I want to read this because this is a question for all of us, so I need everybody to put on their listening ears. we have a YouTube listener named Sosa's mom. Because now this is going to get, because Shaka, I'm going to let you go first because you was already speaking and you're speaking towards this. I'm going to challenge you on that fatherless shit, though. Where do we look to serve others out of a painful situation? My 18-year-old committed a murder, and I would like to create a way to help others through my pain and experience. Did y'all hear the question?
Yeah.
I'll read it again. Where do we look to serve others out of a painful situation? My 18-year-old committed a murder, and I would like to create a way to help others through my pain and experience. This is
I got you. Okay. My suggestion is to do the best that you can to, number one, have a particular outcome in mind, and understand before you even get to the outcome, document the breakdown as well as the breakthrough, so
now,
that people
can you be specific? Can you be specific for her? The breakdown.
Yes.
Please be specific. Yes. What do you mean? Because are you talking about her doing work right now? Or are you talking about like...
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about just journaling, Hatem. We talked about journaling the other day.
Right.
And everything that goes into it, all the sentiment that goes into it, understand that when you write it down, it's easier to compare notes with others who have been through that same passage. Understand that passage is intended. That's what we deal with. That's why even... so I don't want to get too far off, but when we deal with a traumatic state of mind, and we write down what we're feeling from that state, someone else who's experiencing that right now will relate to it. You don't want to wait until you come to the breakthrough, because when you introduce the breakthrough to someone who hasn't gone through the breakdown yet.
Right. See, that's why I love listening to some motivational speakers, but they be pissing me off, man, because they don't go through, no, really. Because they don't hit, a lot of times, the true effect of the breakdown. You understand what I'm saying? Because there is definitely a breakdown before there's a build up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's definitely a death before the rebirth. You know what I'm saying? This is why I love rites of passage, because it take everybody through the... You got to die, nigga. You can't escape it. You have to die and be reborn. And that's what a lot of people... That's why I prefer the rites of passage method over motherfuckers coming up with all this fancy... You can push through. No, you need... As a community, we literally need to go through what our cultural heal. We need to, like, for example, as African Americans, we need for us to go through the Underground Railroad so that we can recognize what our ancestors was dealing with. We need to go through the Middle Passage. You understand? Not necessarily just a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week journey, but going through that shit. This is why I've been striving to come up with methods of reproducing this, because we got to feel it. Because what happens is it opens up, for lack of a better term, some type of ancestral memory within us, and it accentuates who and where we are right now. Because it's almost like we struggle with the fact that we just like everybody else. America is just an even playing field where we all are the same. And I'm just, my whole piece is family. We're not. The experience that y'all go through, the experience that you go through, everybody don't go through. Here.
I give you a prime example. And somebody, while I'm saying this, think of a Hollywood tale that exemplifies what we're talking about. Mine is Pursuit of Happiness. Because in the Pursuit of Happiness, you see, first of all, a level of a brother that just wants to survive and to maintain. And once his family is broken up because of the lack of finance, which is really what it was about,
right?
You see him go through homelessness. You see him fall out with his friend over $16 that he owed him, or $8, or however much he owed him, because he was at that state of destitute. You saw him, in the subway, locking himself in the bathroom so him and his son can have a safe place to sleep. You know what I mean? You saw all of this stuff that he went through, and within that, because in the beginning of the movie, he didn't want to be a stockbroker. He saw something. He saw the happiness in these people's face and was like, man, what do you do? I want to do that. That's what I want. And at the very end, he was able to access that through following. And once again, we were talking about the illusion or the vision. He followed a protocol and he made that thing happen. That the sentiment behind that smile, that happiness was there. You know what I mean? But you have to go through the breakdown first. You saw most of them, 80% of the movie was the breakdown.
No.
Right? And the successful part was, what do they say when preparation meets opportunity? Bam, he prepared for it. If it wasn't for anything, any other moment in the world, he prepared for that. So when the sister on YouTube is talking about where her and her son are right now.
No, she lost her son. She lost her son, but go ahead.
Oh.
I want to be clear on that.
My apologies.
Because she's asking us, where do we look to serve out a painful situation? My 18-year-old committed a murder, and I would like to create a way to help others through the pain. So her son is probably serving time for the murder. So in all intents and purpose, in reality, we know there's a possibility that she will never be able to see her son as a free citizen now. But one of the key pieces that you're bringing up is that
what I'm saying, Hatem. Here's what I'm saying. She and her son can write each other, and she can publish those memoirs. Those memoirs become part of the story that lead to the process.
She said, I feel that I lost him to the thug life. I am from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, in that, because you're definitely not alone in that whole losing a son to the thug life, because what the thug life offers the young people is a sense, somebody calling me like crazy, is a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying?
For family.
For family. I mean, if you can figure out how to create that where you are and make that'll become, because just the love will become more valuable than what some people can offer on the street, because on the street they're offering them experiences, they're offering all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's ridiculous what we're competing against. And then on top of that, we got the
I mean, you look at it, Hatem, it's the natural state in the hood. Like if you come from having no family or having, let me just say this, because nobody comes from no family. We come from dysfunction, right? But whatever dysfunction we come from, even an 8-year-old kid understands what it is to feel loved or to feel useful or to feel a part of something bigger than you.
Right.
So understand this, what he's running right into while he's looking for family. Well, what it is from day one. You committing a crime with us. So this is bigger than just family.
We teamed up.
Yeah.
We have a bond.
Can I jump in? Go ahead. Okay, and we talked. So is she listening to us?
Yeah, I think she listened to us on YouTube.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. All right. So I like to say that, I'm sorry for what happened, but what I like to say is that you're a man once, but you're a child twice. And I'm going to compliment that by saying that he wasn't for another mother that might have an upside, just an upside down child that might be going down the same path as her son. What we got to understand is that, once again, you're a man once, but you're a child twice. It is your responsibility to make sure you listen and feel and tell them how much you love them. You just look at all the details, don't ignore nothing because they're still a child. They're a man once they get out of the house. It is your job to not ignore nothing. Walk in the door, walk in their bedroom, see what they're doing. When they leave, ask what they're doing, because they will know, they will think twice that their mother has stayed on top of them. And it's that you being strict until they become a man, they will always think twice. We have to stay on them because you're a man once, but you're a child twice. So let me jump to the second child. In the beginning, they want love. They want to be told they're beautiful and smart. And then when you become old, you want people to come and see you and check on you and tell you love them, hey, grandma, this and that. But in the middle, they think they're a man in the middle. And it's your job to let them know you still a kid. You're not a man. And you treat them like a kid because you never know that this situation can happen. But go ahead.
So now what?
I need to chime in real quick because I don't want us to get away from the question. She's asking where she was to serve others in her, through her pain experience. So, I mean, I get, the prevention method to save her son. I get that that's definitely important. However, what she's asking for right now is she's seeking our guidance in a way to understand, like, how can she let her pain out where she can empower others. And in my experience, it is definitely hitting on that platform and just really talking about it because you never know who might need that lesson. It's almost like talking to everybody because, not everybody, it may not resonate with everybody directly, but it may resonate with someone indirectly. Or it may get to an ear of a youth that needs to hear that at that time. A wise man told me, like, well, why didn't you go to that meeting? I said, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it. When it was like, well, you could have said something really powerful for somebody to hear at that moment had you went. And from that moment, I thought about that. Like, well, what am I missing to hear or what am I missing to say where I could be somewhere where I'm needed or I'm invited to, instead of just missing something just because, and I think it's very important that she knows that her words don't fall on deaf ears. It's going to be heard. And then you talk about writing and so forth. That's definitely important, I think. But first, it is lifting it off of your chest. It is getting it out of your mouth. It is really speaking about it so that it can become words on paper or in a book. So I think and
it immortalizes your narrative.
Right. So I think she needs to talk about it as much as possible, wherever possible, so that she could be heard because we don't hear about, that it's our child that did the killing versus this person killed my baby. So we usually hear about who killed our baby, not it was my baby who killed. So I think that's definitely an important aspect that needs to be brought out and heard.
Right. And just it brings to mind the movie that Jamie Foxx played in, I believe. No, it wasn't Jamie Foxx. It was Denzel Washington. He played Hurricane, about the brother who got locked up and ended up becoming a Nobel Prize winner for writing a book while he was on the inside. He was a boxer. If I got his name, if I got his story right, that's what happened.
You got it right. I mean, I don't know about the Nobel Prize, but I do know that he played Hurricane, and Hurricane was a boxer that was jailed unjustly. I don't remember you better at that shit than I do. But go ahead. Right. Somebody out there that if they really care about it, they gonna correct us.
Right. The whole piece I'm bringing that up for is that, sister, if you're listening right now, you haven't lost your son. You have the opportunity to move with him as one. You can be his eyes, you can be his voice on the outside, but understand this, he still has a voice on the inside. And if he is as dedicated on the inside as you are, then you all are already a force. You just haven't realized it yet. See, I'm on this site on a daily basis where people go live and they tell their story. Lo and behold, I found out a few months ago, a lot of the members on Tagged are actually current inmates. Like, they get access to phones and they set these accounts up and don't nobody say nothing. And they let people know, hey, I'm over here at this correctional facility and this is what I'm going through right now. So a lot of them, they have that platform to be able to tell their story in a very selfless way. They don't have to. They don't even have to say, hey, I'm in jail or I'm locked up in prison right now. But they come on, you know, and they let people know, hey, I'm in prison right now, but, you know, I love the ladies and you know, blah, this is the way for us to do some normal stuff. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, through technology, through the writing, you have a way to immortalize his narrative, and that's forever a part of you. Especially if you're moving with the young brother, and you are his legs, and you are his voice on the outside. If you have a message that's that powerful and that relevant, then it will be heard.
Word. So I mean, basically, it's about making sure that you are able to keep track. And first explore the past, bring that into the present, and in the present moment, be able to share your feelings and what's going on, and being able to reflect on the past so that you will be able to give people the hints. Like, for example, one of the pieces Shaka said was, what was the breakdown? What was the breakdown between you and your son? What was missing there? And what, if it was there, do you theorize or hypothesize may have made a difference? I honestly believe that a lot of our young people are looking for adventures. Our young people are looking for challenges. And it's just a matter of us being able to identify those challenges and identify that stuff and be able to provide it for them in a healthy fashion. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we still work through our theorems, our hypotheses and things like that. Now, she also puts on here, my son is facing felony murder, life plus 20. I intend to create an outlet for families of perpetrators. I found no resources to support. Oh my God, I just broke my phone. To support or acknowledge our pain and concerns. And that might be, sister, that might be for you to create. You know what I'm saying? That might be for you to create. Oh shit, and it's... Oh, I'm sorry, Facebook. Facebook is falling all over like it's drunk. But hey, family, unfortunately, I'm going to have to break this call up because my wife walking by me giving me funny face signals and shit. So I gotta go and get off the call and go and serve my family. But family, I want y'all to know that this is Gye-Nyame Journey. You're not in this by yourself. I need you to understand this. Welcome to the congregation of the mighty. Miss Sosa's mom, you owe us a book. That's your initiation. You owe us a book. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want, like I said, you restart the Gye-Nyame Journey reaching back to you. You owe Gye-Nyame Journey a book. All right? You know what I'm saying? Now,
we're waiting.
Go ahead.
I just said we're waiting for the book. We'll be waiting.
We'll be waiting for the book. That's your initiation into our tribe. We're waiting for the book. No, see, because one of the things that I'm very serious about is family. When people come at us, we got to give them challenges. We got to give them adventures. We got to give them stuff so that they could go through and they could do some personal work. Because this shit is, and then when we start doing the personal work, we start realizing that it's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. You understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than us. Everybody in Gye-Nyame Journey owed me a motherfucking book. You know what I'm saying? And I only had one deliver. So far, one. But that one...
I love y'all. Y'all have a good day.
No, Miss Tracy, you ain't going no goddamn where because you owe me my goddamn book. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in Gye-Nyame Journey, go ahead, go hang up now. I just wanted to get that shit out because as soon as I start talking about debts, motherfuckers trying to hang up.
I'm still here. I'm working on the book. It's in the making.
All right. So I'm on, but Brother Quasi called in when I'm about to hang up. He always likes starting shit, so he gonna start some shit between me and my
I got something big to talk about. Hold on, listen.
We listening. Go ahead.
You know I'm a troublemaker.
I like shit. Hey, it's cool because I'm one of those too. And it takes the troublemakers to get shit and get conversations popping off and get us being able to disagree, but not being necessarily disagreeable. It takes us to be able to fall out and know that we still in love and be able to come back together and build. We send shots out to Sosa's mom. Thanks so much. Sosa's mom says, thanks so much. Help me along. All right, we waiting for that book, mama. All right. And like I said, family, we'll be here tomorrow. If school is in session, it will be at between 5:15 and 5:30. If not, I might sleep in or I might get it up early and do it. But we will have a show tonight. For those of you that listen and stayed in long enough, this is the folk tale for the night. It's called The Thieves and the Cock. Please, because Brother Kwame challenged me to read it with porno on my mind, and I couldn't stop laughing. Because
it's going down tonight. I'm excited about that conversation.
Now, and also Quasi brought up that, because Quasi called me last night and said, can the show tonight be? I said, we don't do a show until Kujichagulia. He said, oh. I said, but listen, I bet you the proverb lines up. I bet you the folktale lines up. When I read the proverb, he said he was ready. So what he wanted to talk about was the NFL. The NFL. And he could go and explain that.
That's what the fuck boy means.
But now, this is the name of the story for the night. The Thieves and the Cock. Some thieves broke into a house and found nothing but a cock, whom they stole and got off as fast as they could. Upon arriving at home, they prepared to kill the cock, who thus pleaded for his life. He says, pray, spare me. I am very serviceable to men. I wake them up in the night to their work. That is the very reason why we must kill you, they said. For when you wake your neighbors, you entirely put an end to our business. And the moral of the story is the safeguards of virtue are hateful to those with evil intentions. So I'm telling y'all tonight, man, we're gonna have a hot show. Y'all, it's gonna be called in from Jump Up, and I'm like, I know people hanging up now, but yo, I'm out. I gotta go get some zucchini or whatever my wife wants from the store. But other than that, family, I want to say peace out to each and every last one of y'all. And
can I call you when we get off the line? I need to talk to you about something. Just stay on the line or something. I'd rather call you.
Call me, because I'm gonna be going to the store. Sosa's mom, another piece to always remember. In your struggle, you're not alone. All you got to do is, in a sense, open up enough, and eventually the universe will start sending those people to you that you need. You know what I'm saying? And once you start really searching for it and learn how to act for what it is that you're looking for, be specific. It's just like science. When you become specific about something, you're able to define it. It makes it easier for the solution to find you. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to get their last word in. So this is your opportunity to get your last word in. We'll start with Quasi, you was last on, so go ahead. Last word.
Just call in tonight. That's all I got to say.
Call in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same streaming situation that's popping off now. Aaron, it's on you. So what you going to do?
Hey, one lie, question all truths. Shasha.
Okay, Shaka.
Well, my African family, brothers and sisters across this world, let me just say that when all is said and done, ain't nothing left to say or do.
Shasha.
So, family, as I come from the toilet after being on this damn thing for almost 3 hours, I say, hey, you have joined the congregation of the mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know this is a Heart of Simba production, and this has been a daily toast and talk when we have time. you got to stop slipping, man. Will we strive to blow up your old paradigms? We are out.